That's 2 partners you lost. Your partner died. Dude, that is the best death scene ever. No! That is the best death.
Thank you very, 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 very. Thanks for the money, dummies.
My poison. Why am I toxic? What the fuck?
Do what gives you pleasure and fuck everyone else. Stop supporting these retarded, worthless betas.
Look here! Look! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. Darkside Phil here. I'm back. I'm back for my trip to Connecticut, which was about a week. I actually left 1 week ago today. Basically saying that, you know, he was raising money for taxes, but all that money obviously went to pay for this wedding that he didn't tell us about, and he scammed us, and no one would have ever contributed if he had said it was for a wedding instead of something important like taxes, and this is fucked up, and he's really screwed the pooch. And the thing, as afraid as I am of if I don't pay a certain thing, I'll ruin my credit or whatever, right? Who, you know, will actually believe me, continue to watch my content, and, you know, hopefully this at least assuaded some people's fears. And, you know, again, to the people who were just nasty as fuck to myself and Kat all week, fuck you. You're immoral people who are never going to get ahead in life because you're disgusting, vile, toxic individuals. But on the flip side of that, thank you so much to everyone who is so nice and gracious and beautiful to us. People who remembered that I exist, even though I was gone for a week. And now we get back into the normal swing of things. Thanks for listening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this very special podcast. And if you want Q&A, tonight my second stream will be Black Ops 4 Blackout, and that's what that'll be for. Okay? Thank you, everyone. Peace out. I'll see you later tonight for that. And that's it. Later, everybody.
To his will. It's all very confusing. So to get around a lot of this, I decided to worship the sun. But
my neighbors here were aware that I was going to be away. We had someone come and check in on the house every day. And we have security. We have L4, L4, L5 vertebrae. I can't even remember. Basically, it's the vertebrae that controls things such as your ability to use the bathroom. Yeah, not good. Not good that if I tweak my back the wrong way, I could piss my pants, right? I was bad off, all right? Now, in my injury experience was that I had shooting pain at random points down my legs. I had numbness in my legs. And my muscles in my lower back and all the way through my legs were incredibly tense. Okay, incredibly tense. To the point where I was in pain. I was sitting here playing games for YouTube, wincing at pain and stuff a lot of the time. I just never let it come through in my video. And we did, because we just stumbled upon this, and we're like, holy shit. That's like, we'll get a nice ring that normally you would pay an insane amount of money for if we act now. And we talked about it, and we said, you know what? We're going to do it because we love each other. We want to be with each other for the rest of our lives. We know this. It sucks that financially I'm in the position I'm in and probably will never have a nice wedding, or if we do have a nice wedding, it's nowhere near where we're going to have it now. But at least now we can say we're engaged. So we got engaged. I bought the ring. About that. Although I'm sure my mom, who raised me Roman Catholic, would have loved that we got married in a Roman Catholic church. I didn't care about that, and we just didn't care about it. We're going to do that, okay? So at a minimum, what you need to do to get married is get a marriage license from the city or town you're going to get married in. And what you need to do is provide them with tons of information, like your name and address, the names of both your parents and where they're from, your education level, all kinds of shit. You got to give them all this information, okay? And then even though, listen, also another thing you guys need to know, my parents aren't made of money. They're not rich by any means. It's just that this is such a big event for them that they wanted us to come out or whatever, that they were willing to incur that debt because it was so important to them to spend time with me and Kat. And now, of course, we're going to get married. It just adds more icing to the cake and for them. So, you know, that was the pros. Okay, I'll be able to do it with at least with my parents, and we may have a little bit of an actual ceremony or something, a venue, versus doing it just at a city hall here in Seattle. Okay, so Kat and I talked about it for a while. And after talking about it for a little bit, we were starting to actually get a little bit excited. We're going to have to know when I wasn't going to be here. The longer I waited to give you the details, the less chance there was of putting things at risk. Now, before we get into that, some of you who might not know my long history, might not have been longtime viewers and followers of mine, may say, what are you talking about? Like, what kind of stuff are you talking about? Because what could they have done? Just to give you guys some fucking perspective, how much did it end up being? I can't tell you how much it ended up being. But what I can tell you is that money went towards paying my bills. It went towards paying the state taxes for the year, because the state taxes now I pay my yearly business taxes. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third and final part of my big podcast about my Connecticut trip and marriage. Surprise marriage. This is going to talk about the rest of the days in Connecticut, including the marriage, how it went down, and then I'm going to give you an update on the tax situation, because that's what everyone wants to know. Okay? All right. So, we pick up on Tuesday. Tuesday was our second full day there in Connecticut, and this was a day when basically Kat and I didn't know what we were going to do. Now, originally what we wanted to do this week was eating right in front of us and letting us take a ton of pictures. The agouti, very, very nice. The sloths were asleep. Couldn't see the two-toed sloths because they were asleep. But it was a fun trip to the zoo. It was a fun trip. We spent about 2 to 2.5 hours at the zoo. And so then, giant koi fish, too. A ton of the big malls in America. And our mall right out here is Westfield. They weren't. It was a different company that owned it now. And a lot of stuff had changed about the mall. Most notably, a lot of the big department stores were out of business. Sears and JCPenney. These are two of the stores that are like the biggest department stores in America. Things that at one time were some of the biggest, profitable companies in America. They're out of business. They don't even exist anymore. Like, god damn. A lot of places that I noticed used to be there weren't there anymore. And I'm trying to remember specifically on the waffle. And I think she got some turkey bacon with it. And I got what did I get at Chips? I think I got a club sandwich. Yeah, it was a club sandwich. Turkey bacon, lettuce, tomato, basic diner style food. Okay. And we didn't get the pancakes. We didn't load up on pancakes for our wedding day. So then when we were done with that, we ate, and it took, I'm not even exaggerating, probably about almost an hour to just go through the skitsi that came out, which was amazing. It was so fucking good. It was delicious. And then it was fun because some of the guests sat across from Kat and I, and we had some conversation. It was very nice. My parents sat next to me, so conversation there. And a friend of my dad's tells stories. He was telling a couple fun stories at the table and everything. We each got an entree. I got the veal parmesan, and Kat got 20. Qualify for the payment plan. All right. So essentially, I am still going to have to try to make a lot of money because I'm going to have an additional new payment coming out of nowhere now. I don't even know what it's going to be. I was assuming probably $500 to $1,000 a month, but it depends on what the terms they give me for this payment plan. And what I'm going to have to do is, like I said, number one, dump the condo in Connecticut and just don't pay it anymore till they foreclose. That's money in my pocket. And number two, make negotiations with all my credit card companies to pay like half is what they're going to say. So just expect it. And that's exactly what fucking happened. I posted it up. It was 50-50. So, and some people are like, why does Phil spend time, editing posts and stuff? Because it's very simple. It is our wedding post. And that's something that probably in years we'll go back and look at. And we don't want nasty shit on there, So we did. I'm sure by now there is, because it was like 2 days. I would go back and check it and delete the nonsense. I'm sure by now it's flooded with the nonsense again. But at least for about a day or two, it was nice. And it was a nice, and it was kind of funny because, sadly, I hate to say it, 50% of the people who knew that we had gotten married were very supportive and happy and wanted to keep seeing me post up stuff. 50% of the people were just being complete negative assholes and just being really scumbags to us and insulting us constantly. So, I posted up a picture of Wahlburgers, and I'm like, yeah, it's the first time I've ever seen one of these. Anyone heard if it's any good? And some people are like, nah, it's overpriced, don't go there. And other people are like, you have money, you scam people, you're going to spend it on burgers? And it's like, I knew it. From then on, anything I posted for the rest of the trip was just going to be negative shit from assholes. And yeah, maybe I could still do a part-time stream, but no, who's going to want to sit watching a 60-year-old guy play video games all day? right? In addition to that, you know, you're killing yourself financially.
Something reminds me of shit spinning down the fucking toilet.
Okay. Feasibly, how would I move? I don't have money for it. I don't have money to move my stuff. I don't have time. I have to work my ass off to make minimum payments on everything. How am I going to have time to move? You know, that's a lot of work. Finding a real estate agent, renovating the house so it's ready for sale, selling all the shit in the house. I have no time to do any of it. Cat's working too. We don't have time, okay? So the reality of it is this. The reality of it is this. I have to make concrete changes that will ruin my credit in order to save the situation. I cannot leave this house, period. This house is where I work. This house is where...
It's the perfect crime, Cindy.
But wait! There's more! Hang on to your seat, baby!
I may have to get this tire fixed because the bottom line is I don't know what's up with this leak. It's not as bad as at first I thought it was, because yesterday we went out for the day to restock the house and do all the things we needed to do now that we're back for the trip. And when we came back home, it wasn't low again. And I'm like, how could it have lost all of its air while we were gone and then lose air again when I went to get food Friday night, but then we were out all day Saturday and it lost no air? It doesn't even make any fucking sense. I don't understand this. I don't know. So anyway, I agree with you. And really, in reality, it'll be the next stage of my life, you know, where I can spend more time with Kat and do that kind of stuff. This conversation was hours, all right? After this long conversation with my parents, finally, basically my mom said, well, since you can't go on the honeymoon, you know, how much do you need to get on this payment plan for these taxes and basically not get completely screwed over? I told her, she gave me the money. So, essentially, the reason that right now I'm going to be able to get on a payment plan is because you guys supported the shit out of me for the past month with these marathons, combined with the money that my mom was able to afford. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. This money came with party at all. It was just a few attendees, as I said. And no, I didn't talk to either of them. A lot of people were like, were you going to see Rambo in Connecticut? Rambo doesn't live in Connecticut. Rambo didn't live in Connecticut. People don't even know that. He used to drive like 90 minutes to come play games with me. He doesn't live in Connecticut. How would I have seen it? No, I told you guys. If those guys had any actual interest in talking with me, they would have, you know, 3+ years ago when I was trying to talk to them and they were ignoring my texts constantly and then made a nasty video about me. We're not going to talk about John and Rambo again or ever again because that's a part of my past. That's 3.5 years in the past. I've moved on, and this is the present, and you got to deal with that. I know you like to reminisce about the past, and you dwell on it, but we all move on, and things are good luck, and congratulations. Thank you very much, Jacqueline. And Timbo Slice just cheered and says, what is your favorite airline? I would say JetBlue. I would absolutely say JetBlue, because they are the most comfy flights there are. But at the same time, modern flights, none of them are fun anymore. They're just very uncomfortable and cramped, and you know, I was happy that the flights went down. Well, the flight back sucked because of the baby.
Meanwhile, 8:01.
All day, trolls just drill me all day.
I need that money. Greed is massively strong.
Jeez, I swear to God, you Jews, you Mexicans, you Asians are so demanding.
Worthless specimen, get that ass banned.